Hey, welcome to the channel. We hope that you enjoy today's stories and check out the chapters on the video to see all the stories for today. But before we get into this video, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to get notified when we release a new video. So let's get into the video.
The road trip that got so weird that I can't even explain it very well. I'll do my best to explain what I saw, but it's difficult to paint an exact picture. I was driving across the country with my mom. We'd just entered California from Arizona a little before 11 p.m. In a rural area, there were other cars around, but definitely wouldn't call it traffic. I'm driving and a bit off the road on the right side of ground level-ish I see something glowing. It's a fluorescent neon dark blue. Very bright, but it didn't light up anything around it. It was just glowing. It was shaped like some kind of energy cell-looking thing out of a futuristic movie or video game. Probably 5 feet or 152 centimeters tall, and 2 feet or 60 centimeters wide with ribbed sides. I then realized this thing was moving. And moving very weirdly. It was moving like it was glued to the ground and tracing the slightly hilly terrain. Like it was on top of some kind of off-roading vehicle that was magnetically held down to the terrain it was driving on. After a few seconds, it goes up a little and disappears into the freaking ground, and we see these two small spotlights pointing in the air appear where it disappeared. They were moving very quickly. Like those ones you see when there's some kind of arena event in your city. But the light didn't reach super far. These spotlights were encased by some kind of light dome and couldn't shine past it. The light was just stopped in its tracks instead of fading out into the sky. In the dome it was lit up, it looked like a fog inside of it, but not exactly fog. But I could still see these two spotlights shining around in it sporadically because they were shining brighter than the rest of the dome. Keep in mind I could not see anything else as it was dark. Couldn't see the ground or surroundings. Drove past it speaking with my mom trying to figure out what the heck that was that we just saw. All of it looked extremely unnatural. Literally, 5 seconds of driving later my mom screams, "What the freak is that?" I never ended up seeing what she was talking about, but she described basically what the internet says are black stick men on the left side of the road now. On the opposite side of the road, we saw the neon light dome thing and about 5 seconds of doing 65 miles per hour of distance from the dome. She said they were about 12 feet or 365 centimeters tall, built like stick figures or on stilts, and she couldn't discern ahead. I saw another post that described how they walked in the same way my mom did. Lolloping or had a kind of bounce/waddle in their steps. At first, there was only one walking, then another appeared close to it and they were going towards each other. I punched the gas and got the freak out because screw that. I didn't think quick enough to take a video of the light dome blue thing, but I'm glad I didn't because for some reason I feel like that wouldn't have gotten off easy for that. I'm not sure why I can't shake the theory that this blue light has to do with the government or something going after these things. But I don't know. I'll also mention we then saw flashing things in the sky pretty far away moving too close to each other to be aircraft, but I've written that off as Border Patrol drones.
I think I was seeing my sister's doppelganger. This past weekend, my parent had an experience. I did not make much of it, and neither did the rest of the family. I am going to use general terms to protect some privacy. This parent got up in the morning for work. However, they were washing some dishes from the night before. I woke up and was able to hear them wash the dishes and everything. Nobody else in the home was awake, besides one of our pets. My parent came into the room and asked for my sibling. I mentioned that they were sleeping upstairs. We have a single room upstairs, somewhat like an attic but used as a bedroom, with my other sibling. At this point, my parent told me to swear that my sibling was upstairs. I explained that yes, they were, and I had not seen them come downstairs. My parent then said that she had seen my sibling run around the house and could feel the feet and items move as they ran. They were so sure that they walked over to peek around the couch to scare them/play hide and seek. We did not discuss more. However, more recently, I have also seen the same sibling at home, despite everyone being away. This sibling is still in grade school, so they wake up and get taken to school by one of my parents. I was also getting ready to leave for work. As I was heading out of the bathroom, our cat ran and hid behind the bed. He is still a kitten, so he is very playful. The hiding is not suspicious to me, as he had been running around and playing by himself throughout the morning. Back to the story, I was leaving the bathroom and walked heading towards the bed to play with the cat. My bedroom door is in front of the door that leads to the dining room/common area. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw this sibling sitting at the dining table, eating breakfast with only hair covering their face. I even made out the clothes they were wearing. As I went to play with the cat, it occurred to me to tell this sibling to stop playing with the cat and hurry up, or else they'd be late for school. As I walk out of my bedroom, I remembered my parent had already left with them. I was the only one in the house. These experiences haven't felt malicious. The only common denominator between the 2 times this occurred is that the cat seems to be playing with them, just like he does with my sibling.
If you're enjoying today's video, smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more videos and interesting stories. Now let's get back to the stories of our lives.
I've never believed in ghosts, but I think my house may have one. A 33-year-old female, husband, 30-year-old male, and I live in a beautifully restored 100-year-old craftsman home in the oldest neighborhood of Houston, Texas. We have lived here for about 3 years and in this time have experienced odd occurrences that we are unable to explain, list below. Until today, we would joke that it must be a ghost but never really believed it, but now I'm not so sure. What do you guys think? Is there a way we can test the energy of our home or something? I feel silly asking that, but what should we do? 1. About 2 months after moving into the house, I was in our upstairs guest room, and our large, 7 feet or 213 centimeters tall, heavy wooden frame, maybe 75-ish pound or 34 kilograms, mirror, which was securely leaning on the wall, fell on top of me and pinned me against the bed. Thank goodness my husband was home to help me get out from under it. I wasn't hurt, but really confused, as I was just walking by, and in the past, when I've unleaned it, it took a lot of muscle. 2. On 2 occasions with different guests staying in the same guest room as the mirror from, maybe 9-ish months apart, have told me while they were wide awake, they felt like someone sat on the bed or the cat jumped on the bed, only to realize they were alone in the room. 3. While I was outside gardening this past fall, I felt someone firmly push my back, which caused me to stumble. I was certain as I was turning around there was going to be someone there, but I was alone. My husband thinks I simply lost my balance, but I very clearly felt something touch my back. I didn't bump into anything, it was clear behind me. 4. This brings us to today, which for me is the hardest to ignore. This morning around 7 a.m. I heard 2 thuds about 10 minutes apart. After the second thud, I got up to let my dog out since they also woke him, and while he was outside, I investigated the sound. The cat was in our bedroom asleep with my husband, and there wasn't anyone else in the house. I briefly looked around downstairs and didn't see anything, so I assumed it must have been something outside, got my dog, and went back to sleep. Fast forward to around 7 p.m., I went upstairs to get my stepson's, 10-year-old male, bedroom ready for his arrival. His dad was picking him up, he is with us every other weekend, and I found 3 of his books had fallen off his bookshelf. I believe this was the series of thuds I heard this morning. Here are some things that make it extra peculiar. A. The books were a series of 4, I had organized them in order when I placed them 2 weeks ago, books 1, 2, and 4 had fallen and the 3rd book remained perfectly intact and erect on the bookshelf. B. They fell in at least 2 series minutes apart, not all at once. C. They fell pretty far out from the bookshelf. As a former physics major, I am certain it would have taken quite a bit of force to get them to land as far away as they did, and nothing had fallen behind where they were on the shelf that could have knocked them. D. For those who are curious, the bookshelf is securely anchored to the wall and has many books and knickknacks that did not appear to be moved. The books also have about an inch of clearance between them and the edge of the shelf.
Heard someone call my nickname from the top of my stairs this morning, and my boyfriend heard something too. So, I'll preface this by saying I'm 99% sure this house is haunted, as my boyfriend and myself have both seen the form of a woman walking around the house before, 9 times out of 10, along the landing at the top of our stairs. We also smell unusual smells like perfume or hear unexplained bangs. Recently, I've been seeing things out the corner of my eye more and more frequently. I'm used to this as I grew up in a haunted home, but things seem to be getting weirder lately in my own home. This morning, my boyfriend went downstairs, and I sat in the bedroom getting dressed. I heard as clear as day someone call my nickname from just outside the bedroom door on the landing. I shouted out, "What?" In response, thinking it was my boyfriend on the landing. No one else calls me this nickname, and there's no one else in the house, so it must have been him, right? Then he shouts back from all the way downstairs,
What? Did you just throw something down the stairs?
Of course, I shout back no. So, I heard someone call my name, and he heard what sounded like a heavy item being thrown down the stairs, apparently at the exact same time. We checked all around the house in case there was a source for the sounds, but obviously found nothing. And nothing near or on the stairs. Our house is very tidy, so I'd notice anything unusual or out of place right away. No explanation for this at all. We both heard different things by the stairs at the exact same time. Just for your information, there weren't any windows open, and our house is a little bit back from the road, so it couldn't have been anything from outside. The sounds came from the top of the stairs and landing. I'm open to explanations because I honestly have none.
If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and check out more videos from the channel.